What they see when they go into a supermarket is a cartoon of a happy, smiley chicken in a green field somewhere, and they're sold a lie.
Fuck my life. They do not want you to see this.
All over the British countryside, but hidden from view, are more than 1,000 industrial chicken farms. Tens of thousands of birds per shed. No daylight, no fresh air, no outside world. This is how 95% of chickens are farmed.
Some estimates have suggested there's now more of 1,000 of these mega farms in existence in the UK, and that number seems to be increasing.
The companies are not being honest to us about what it is that's happening on their farms. They are betting on the fact that the public doesn't know the truth and using clever marketing tactics to keep expanding into the UK.
Chicken is often marketed as the healthy choice, the natural option.
Well, obviously this is nonsense. There's nothing healthy about it. There's nothing natural about it.
Chickens are the most farmed and consumed animal in the UK, and they suffer immensely on UK farms today.
We've got chickens that go from egg to maturity, to the point of slaughter, in 5 weeks. We call them Frankenchickens. And that is asking too much of their anatomy, because they can't even stand up. They become so heavy that that their legs can't support them.
In these days, if you want to make poultry keeping a really profitable business on your farm...
There was a competition called the Chicken of Tomorrow, and the idea was to incentivize farmers to produce a faster-growing chicken that had bigger breast muscles. These modern chickens are bred to grow 4 to 5 times faster than they used to. So a typical strain from the 50s would grow at a rate of about 15 grams per day. But a modern rostera weight, which is the most populous bird in the world, which is the most dominant chicken breed there is, grows about 60 to 70 grams per day.
These birds have been selectively bred to produce as much meat as possible, as quickly as possible. But this means that they've also been bred to suffer. Their body is literally a cage. They can hardly walk, and so they're forced to sit in their own waste, which is full of ammonia and causes really painful health conditions.
I thought that was just the worst day of my life, the most horrific experience of my life. They opened those sheds, they were absolutely packed with chickens. It was towards the end of the cycle. I think it was like roughly 4 or 5 days before those chickens were taken to the factory, which means they were very big and it was extremely crowded. And they told me that what you do is mostly you collect dead chickens from the ground and you just remove them from the sheds. That's like, 90% of what you do as a farm worker. There's nothing that could be described as care, I would say. So you arrive early in the morning, you change into your work clothes, and you typically just start your walks. You just start walking your sheds, and you pick up the dead ones, put them into your pocket.
Around 4 to 6% of the birds cannot even survive 5 weeks in those sheds. Tens of millions die every year from heart failure, organ collapse, exhaustion, starvation, and disease. In amongst them, other sick and suffering birds hold on just long enough to be slaughtered for KFC, Pret, Nando's, or the supermarkets.
So you could call this selective breeding, but you could also call it overbreeding, because as you can see, the birds have basically broken as a result of what we've done to them.
It's hell, isn't it? It's hell. It's like a hell imagined in a 1970s sci-fi. It's Soylent Green meets 2001.
Animal Equality UK has investigated a number of chicken farms across Britain, and we found that chickens are facing the same problems on every single one. And that's simply so the industry has more meat to sell and more money to make at the end of it.
So the chickens are spending ever longer lying on this flooring, which is increasingly soaked with urine and manure. And this actually results in chemical burns to the undersides of the chickens caused by the corrosive nature of the urea in the urine. And it results in breast blisters and hock blisters, and you can see that on drumsticks from chickens in supermarkets very commonly.
We also see white striping in supermarket shelves. These birds are so sick that their muscle is dying and being replaced with fat. I don't think that UK consumers would want to eat this if they knew the truth, and I certainly don't think they would consider it the healthy option.
Also, the birds are given tons of antibiotics because if they didn't, they would just be dying even more than they already do.
But what we don't want to see is the routine prophylactic use of these drugs as a compensation for bad practices on the farms.
Through the creation of factory farming, we've now managed to cause suffering on a scale that's never been seen before throughout human history.
It's a short life, but as long as they're not lame, well, I draw the line. If they can't stand up, they get lame, they get breast blisters, they get dirty, the ammonia levels in the building knock your head off, that's not acceptable, period.
The problem is that so few people have a view into that hell because it's in a shed in the countryside, it's locked up, no one can get in, no one sees it. And that's what it comes down to. It's just a lie.